Welcome to the Gaming Bench. You know, when you have a YouTube channel in which you build ancient board games, you end up building a lot of board games. Every week I'm like, ugh, what am I going to build next? And it's always a struggle. But sometimes the board game gods are kind to you, like what happened earlier this month. So I have a Google alert set up for ancient board games, and I got a notice about this article. The headline says, "An ancient Hawaiian game makes a modern comeback." And it goes on to say, this invitational tournament brings together top players from across Hawaii to revive Kōnane, a Hawaiian strategy game. So I don't know any Hawaiian games, and I don't know this game at all. So let's build it. The game itself is really simple. It's kind of like checkers or drafts, but with only the best part where you jump over your opponents and capture their pieces. Next week, I'm going to have a whole video that talks about the rules, history, and strategy of Kōnane. So if you want to learn how to play, check back in next week. Now the board itself is equally simple. I'm going to use marbles for playing pieces, and it's just a grid of indentations to hold the marbles. The boards come in a variety of sizes, but I'm going to do 8 by 8. So that'll fit in here, and it'll leave me space to put 2 channels on either side where you can store your captured marbles. My plan is to have like a narrow trough on each side where you can collect the marbles. So I'm going to do those first. I'm just going to try to route them out. So I built just a simple frame that I can center on these lines, and then just take my router board and do that. I'm a little worried about this white oak. I just built a box for a rare non-game project, and I got terrible tear out when I was cutting splines into it. So I'm hoping, since I'm using a bowl cutting bit and there's no real sharp edges, that I won't get terrible tear out. But I don't know. Guess we'll find out. My SD card crapped out there for a minute, so I lost some footage, but nothing important. It was mostly just me patting myself on the back for doing such a nice job on this. Because honestly, I am still kind of surprised when I plan something and it works out as expected. So this trough looks pretty good. I need to do some cleanup on the bottom with some sandpaper, but now I'm just going to do the other side. All right, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Some sanding will need to be done on the bottom here, but you know, now I have a bit of a dilemma, because my intention was to weather this board and make it look really old and kind of beat up. But these have turned out so nice that now I kind of want to make it like a little more pristine. I don't know. I'm going to sand these while I think about it. All right, this is a new situation for me because I need to completely change my plan. Well, I've had to change my plan plenty of times with different projects, but usually because I've screwed something up and I need to pivot. But this is the first time where something's coming out so nice that I want to change my plan. Now, what I was going to do is make this board and then distress it and make it look old and beat up and worn. I mean, I had my axe ready to like cut grooves into it and make it look kind of rough hewn, but just putting these pockets in here to hold the marbles, they look so nice that I think I want to make it look new and nice. And that's going to require some precision in the placement, because when I was just going to make it look all beat up, I didn't really care. I was just going to eyeball the divots for the marbles, and that would have been fine. But now you're going to be able to tell if they're off a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. So I made a grid of the divots I need to put in the board just on my computer. And I'm going to put this on here, transfer all the dots, and then I got to figure out a way to make these divots. Like I said, I was just going to eyeball it, but there's no way I have a steady enough hand to make that look precise. So I need to figure out some sort of jig that'll allow me to line up each of these. And if I had a plunge router, this would probably be easy. I would just line up the base and then plunge it down, but I don't have a plunge router. I just have a palm router. So like I said, I need to figure out a jig that'll help me line this up perfectly. Close. Now I'm just going to punch the center of each of these divots. I spent a bunch of time trying to figure out how to precisely drill these divots in this board. And as previously mentioned, I know I can't freehand it. I just don't have that kind of precision. So I know I need some sort of jig. So here's where I landed. I had a bunch of crazy ideas, but I think finally the simplest is going to be the best. I just have a piece of MDF. I drilled a 1-inch hole in it, and on my router I have a brass bushing that's 1 inch. So I am going to center this jig, this hole, on where the divot needs to go, lock it down with some clamps, and then just carefully lower this bushing into the hole and press down. This is what I would do essentially if I had a plunge router, right? It would just be a lot easier and I wouldn't have to fuss with this. So I'm cautiously optimistic that this is going to work. think I'm going to go a little deeper. Just a little. Okay, that is the board half done, and gotta say it looks pretty good. By the nature of the way I'm rounding these holes, there's considerable burning inside there, but you know what? I kind of like it. I don't think I'll sand it out. I think it adds something. But I gotta take a break. Not only because this is tedious as hell, but because I know myself, and this is the point in a project where I get sloppy, where I have to make a lot of repetitive cuts, and like I'm gonna be super unhappy if I get like 60 of these divots routed out, and then, you know, because of user error, I route across and put a big gouge in it or go through the MDF or something. So I'm gonna take a break and I'll come back to it a little bit later. All right, I don't know if this was the least efficient way to do it, but it certainly wasn't the most efficient, but looks pretty good. Happy with this. I think if I had to do it all over again, I would approach it a little differently. I think I would take this template, and instead of drilling a single hole in it, I would drill a series of holes down it so that I could just go bzz, 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 with the router and do them all at once. But that also assumes I could line up a bunch of 1-inch holes in a straight line on the template. So I don't know. Cut the sides down a little bit on the table saw, took it over to the router table and rounded over the edges. So you know what that means next. All right, I have this whole thing sanded up to 220. Not sure what to do with the divots. It's kind of hard to see, but there's burn marks in most of them. And something happened with my technique between the first and the second day, because these burn marks are all pretty consistent, and then these are a little lesser, so something changed. I don't love it, but also I don't think I'm going to go in there and try to sand all this out. The edges around the divots are kind of sharp, and I like that. I think they'll hold the marbles in place a little bit better. So I think I'm going to just leave it be. Here's what I'm debating. When you play the game, your first move has to be to either remove one of the 4 stones from the center or one of the stones from the 4 corners. And I had thought about indicating somehow these 4 pieces in the center, just so it makes gameplay a little easier. I thought about inscribing like a box around them, but I don't trust myself to carve a really straight line. And I think if I did, it would just emphasize how these aren't perfect. I'd still like to indicate these 4 pieces. I mean, the corners are easy to tell, but these, when there's marbles all over the board, Okay, here's where I've landed. I'm going to take some of this alcohol ink I have and just color the inside of these 4 spaces, and I think the corners too. Let's see how that goes. All right. That looks pretty good. Subtle, but still marks those spaces as special. I'll give that time to dry completely, and then I think I'll give it one more light sanding, put some finish on it, and we'll be done. This Osmo Poly-X Hard Wax oil has become my go-to. This is just the clear. You just brush it on, wait 30 minutes, and come back, wipe it off. Of course, I got to get in all these divots. And that is this Kōnane board done. As a reminder, I'll have a video next week that goes over the rules, history, and strategy of the game. So if you want to learn how to play or just more about the history of the game, check back then. This has been an interesting journey, this particular project, because I approached it thinking that I just didn't have the skill to make it the way I wanted to make it. But it turns out I do, or at least close enough. I mean, it's not perfect, but I am still really pleased with how it turned out. All right, as always, if this is the kind of stuff that you like, I hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Gaming Bench.